What is going on, guys? Pretty flat day for GTII, up 10 cents or 2% gain on the day. Wasn't anything crazy, like I mentioned. Volume was a little lower than what we saw, about 4.7 compared to the past few trading days, around 8. So definitely lower volume, lower volatility day, but still a green close on the day. When I look at this candle, it's basically just telling me that there was a tug of war for that $5 level, and the bulls slightly favored the bears today. This isn't extremely significant in any way, but it's also not a bad thing. And we're continuing to close higher, so I'm definitely not mad about that. And as we look on the 5 or the 6 minute, what we saw basically was the same thing as yesterday. So they hammered down right in the beginning. We saw that, and it got a nice bounce. So it went from a low of 410 compared to yesterday, which was 380. So the support or the floor is continuing to move up slightly, even though it's inch by inch. It's not like we're, jumping 5 or 10 points or anything like that. But this is not an issue for me in any way. We saw a low right here, like I said, of 410, high of 620. And then at the end of the day, they just tried to, slam the price down and have it trade flat. And it was just this war and chop for $5. We closed above five, closed higher than we did yesterday. So in my book, that's going to be a win. Even though it's a small win, still a win in my opinion. My perspective is looking back a week or two ago, the stock was 50, 60 cents. So the price is still 10x what it was 2 weeks ago. And also, we know the company all-time high was $4.55, not but 5, 6 trading days ago. So the fact that we're closing above all-time highs consistently is really strong. And it's, again, another positive in my book. I want to talk about TradeZero. They claim to be the best broker for short selling. And it's really interesting because they're partnered up with Tim Sykes, who we know recently has shorted GTII. And it's really interesting because there's no shares available to borrow on TD Ameritrade. And I've asked around at E-Trade, Fidelity, Schwab. No one's able to borrow or short the stock. It says not available to borrow. It doesn't say hard to borrow, but it's interesting how he was able to TradeZero had shares available when we know there's over 150 million naked shorts, claims on all the biggest apps that you can't borrow the stock. So I thought it was really interesting. And when we take a look back, not but a few months ago in May, SEC charged TradeZero America and co-founder with deceiving customers about meme stock trading halts. Okay, so we see TradeZero America. They halted purchases for about 10 minutes. They had misleading public statements in interviews, social media, and press release to distinguish their company from brokers that restricted trading during that period. So again, it does not surprise me that Tim Sykes is involved with these types of people. No other major brokerage app could short the stock. Somehow he's able to. Somehow they're able to locate shares. And we're not sure if they're naked or if he actually shorted them legally. But that again will be speculation. You guys can, come up with your own opinions. So I know a lot of you want to know who is the prime broker for the Kramers. And what we know as of now is that it is Alpine and John Hurry. And when we did a little digging into him, we saw Finra find them 1.7 million for Cayman Island microcap sales scheme. And you can read down here all about it. This guy has a very long rap sheet, very similar to the Kramers. SEC sues Alpine Securities, run of bad news for owner John Hurry, and we'll talk about him in a moment, but fined $1.5 million for doing a really poor job at preventing illegal sales by penny stock insiders. He was barred from the industry on a full 111-page FINRA decision that could be found on their website. I'll leave the links in the description here. But right here, we see 2010 by selling securities without registration and without an exemption. Okay, sounds very, very similar to the Kramers. Okay, unlawful transaction and evade regulatory scrutiny. It's no surprise at all that these are the guys that are backing them, that are allowing them to continue to short the stock. Here he is. Here's his LinkedIn. It's Alpine Securities and Scottsdale Capital Advisors. This is John Hurry. We see here Scottsdale and John Hurry push back to stop Finra investigation. You scroll down, no surprise. Obviously, they don't want them digging into what they're doing. We know that they have a lot of offshore accounts. They're able to manipulate and hide shares, millions and billions of shares that they sell short. Right here, FINRA bans Utah brokerage, orders it to pay 2.3 million in restitution. A panel asserted Alpine Securities had misused customer funds and securities, made unauthorized trades, and charged customers unreasonable fees when the firm argued it needed to raise fees to offset lower profits. Okay. I mean, it doesn't stop with these guys. The more you dig, the more BS and the more craziness you find. I mean, how are these guys walking? How are they on their two legs right now, able to conduct business? They do on and on and on, time after time, year after year, millions of dollars of fine, and somehow, they're able to walk scot-free. It's really, truly disgusting. That's why we're in this play. We're trying to expose it and let you guys know what type of people we're up against. Okay, here we go. We see the SEC document here. Scottsdale Capital Advisors, John Hurry, Timothy DeBlasi, and Michael Cruz. Disciplinary action taken by Finra. And, we can go on for days about this. I'm not going to waste any more of your time. I'll leave all the links in the description so that you guys could see. But it's always just a slap on the wrist. They're always able to conduct business after. And it's no surprise with these types of individuals. So taking a look at the Finra data, we saw another 2.4 million shares short out of the 4.7 million today, which is about 51%, slightly less than what we saw Monday and Tuesday, which are both 60% days. But the stock moved again very slow today. So it wasn't high volume, high volatility. It was pretty much just trading flat, which again, not a huge issue, but that's, nothing too exciting today, if we're going to be honest. What I was excited about is my man Willie was on the scene in Capitol Hill, where the SEC building was. And we saw, a couple trucks that were driving around here. 60 million naked shorts on finger in 5 days. Rumored H.C. Wainwright called the company to buy shares. We saw Kramer toxic lending crime syndicate must shut down once and for all. GTI. This is right in front of the SEC building. So obviously all glass windows. People are paying attention during lunch. They're taking pictures. You see people on the bikes here. Everyone's noticing. What is this? What are they talking about? What's this GTI? What's this finger motion? We see here GTI 150 million shares naked short settled the trades. Okay, so just, putting that in front of everyone, making sure that they're aware. We see bystanders everywhere checking out the truck. They know what's going on. And what's amazing about this building, like we said, it's all glass windows. So everyone in their office building, as they're walking around, they're paying attention. They're aware of what's going on. And I think that's a good thing is more eyes, more news. There's no bad news. There's no bad attention for the stock. And that's really awesome. So that's all I got for you guys today. It's going to be very short and simple. Moving forward, of course, we want to continue to, inch after inch, move up the ladder, right? Close higher, higher highs, higher lows. So that's what I'm expecting tomorrow. I would love a close over $6. That would be fantastic. But as long as we have another green day tomorrow, I'm not going to be mad. I'm always anticipating the BS and the attacks, right? They're going to come, but they keep getting weaker and weaker over time. And I think eventually there's going to be a break point we're going to hit, and they're not going to be able to hold the stock down. So that is my 2 cents on it. I hope you guys enjoy the day, and I'll be back tomorrow to update you again.